Marcus Thompson stared at his bank account balance, the harsh glow of his laptop screen illuminating the desperation in his eyes. Negative $247. At 32, he was living paycheck to paycheck as a warehouse supervisor, drowning in credit card, debt, and watching his dreams slip away like sand through his fingers. The eviction notice on his kitchen table seemed to mock him with its bold red lettering. But that Tuesday morning would change everything. As Marcus sat in the break room scrolling, mindlessly through his phone, he stumbled upon a video that would shatter his limiting beliefs forever. A billionaire entrepreneur was speaking at a conference, and his words hit Marcus like lightning. The only difference between the wealthy and the broke isn't luck, circumstances, or even opportunity. It's mindset. Millionaires think differently, act differently, and most importantly, they see money as a tool, not their master. Marcus paused the video, his heart racing. For years, he had blamed his financial struggles on his background, his lack of education, even the economy. He had grown up hearing phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," and "rich people are greedy." These beliefs had become his prison, invisible chains that kept him trapped in scarcity. That evening, Marcus made a decision that would transform his life. He would study the minds of millionaires. He would decode their thinking patterns, their habits, and their relationship with money. He cleared his cluttered apartment and created what he called his Millionaire Laboratory, a corner dedicated to learning, planning, and reprogramming his mind. The first lesson came quickly. Wealthy people think in terms of abundance, not scarcity. Where Marcus saw limited opportunities, millionaires saw infinite possibilities. While he feared losing money, they focused on creating value. This revelation was both liberating and terrifying. It meant his financial situation wasn't predetermined by his circumstances. It was a direct result of his mindset. Marcus began consuming books, podcasts, and documentaries about successful entrepreneurs. He discovered that most millionaires shared common thinking patterns. They viewed failures as education, they invested in themselves relentlessly, and they understood that money was simply a byproduct of solving problems for others. The transformation wasn't instant. Old thought patterns died hard. When Marcus caught himself thinking, "I can't afford that," he learned to reframe it as, "How can I afford that?" When he felt envious of successful people, he shifted to curiosity. What strategies are they using? That I could learn. His co-workers noticed the change first. Marcus, who used to complain about bills and bad luck, now spoke about opportunities and possibilities. He started reading during lunch breaks instead of scrolling social media. He listened to motivational audiobooks during his commute instead of music. The real breakthrough came when Marcus realized that his environment was reinforcing his old mindset. He was surrounded by people who complained about money, who believed success was only for the lucky few, who thought dreaming big was unrealistic. He made the difficult decision to limit his time with negative influences and seek out like-minded individuals who were also committed to growth. Marcus joined online communities of aspiring entrepreneurs, attended free seminars, and found a mentor through a local business networking group. Each interaction reinforced his new beliefs and provided practical strategies for building wealth. 3 months into his transformation, something remarkable happened. Marcus's supervisor position had taught him valuable logistics skills, and he noticed inefficiencies in the company's inventory system. Instead of just complaining like his old self would have done, his millionaire mindset kicked in. He saw an opportunity. He spent evenings developing a proposal to streamline operations, projecting significant cost savings for the company. His millionaire mindset had taught him to focus on value creation rather than just earning a paycheck. This wasn't just about getting a promotion. This was about thinking like an entrepreneur within his current role. As Marcus prepared to present his proposal to upper management, he realized something profound had shifted within him. Fear had been replaced by excitement. Scarcity thinking had given way to abundance. He was no longer the same person who had stared at that negative bank balance months earlier. He was becoming the architect of his own financial destiny. The millionaire. Mindset wasn't just about money, it was about reimagining what was possible. Marcus's presentation to management was a pivotal moment, but not for the reasons he initially expected. While his proposal was well received and earned him a modest bonus, the real victory was internal. He had proven to himself that he could think strategically, create value, and speak confidently about his ideas. The warehouse supervisor who once avoided confrontation had transformed into someone who sought opportunities to contribute meaningfully. However, Marcus quickly learned that building a millionaire mindset required more than positive thinking. It demanded systematic rewiring of deeply ingrained mental patterns. The bonus he received became his first test. His old self would have immediately used it to catch up on bills or buy something he'd been wanting. His evolving millionaire mindset whispered a different approach. Invest it. But invest in what? Marcus realized he had been thinking small. While researching investment options, he discovered that the wealthiest individuals invested heavily in the most valuable asset of all, themselves. They understood that knowledge, skills, and personal development generated the highest returns. Over time, Marcus enrolled in an online course about supply chain management, directly related to his current role but with applications far beyond the warehouse. He also began studying basic financial literacy, learning about budgeting, investing, and the power of compound interest. Each evening after work, he dedicated 2 hours to learning, treating his education like a sacred appointment with his future self. The mindset shift revealed itself in subtle but powerful ways. When unexpected expenses arose, his car needed repairs, his laptop crashed, Marcus no longer panicked or felt victimized by circumstances. Instead, he approached these challenges with what he called millionaire problem solving. He asked better questions. How can I turn this setback into an opportunity? What can I learn from this situation? How would a successful person handle this? For his car repairs, instead of simply paying the mechanic, Marcus spent time understanding what went wrong and learned basic maintenance skills. This saved him money on future repairs and sparked an interest in mechanical systems that would later prove valuable. When his laptop crashed, he researched and built his own computer, gaining technical skills while saving hundreds of dollars. More importantly, Marcus began to understand the millionaire concept of delayed gratification. While his co-workers spent their paychecks on weekend entertainment and impulse purchases, Marcus consistently allocated 20% of his income toward his future self fund. This wasn't just savings, it was investment in education, skill development, and eventually income-generating opportunities. The real transformation accelerated when Marcus started treating his current job like a business school. Instead of simply completing assigned tasks, he began studying every aspect of the operation. He learned about vendor relationships, cost analysis, customer service, and leadership dynamics. He volunteered for additional responsibilities, not for immediate financial gain, but for the education and experience. His mentor, David Rodriguez, a successful real estate investor he'd met at a networking event, helped Marcus understand a crucial millionaire principle. You don't get paid for the hour you work. You get paid for the value you bring to that hour. This realization prompted Marcus to focus intensely on increasing his value to his employer and, more importantly, to the marketplace. Marcus began documenting processes, identifying improvement, opportunities, and developing systems that could be replicated. He wasn't just doing his job anymore, he was thinking like an owner. This shift in perspective was noticed by senior management, who began involving him in higher-level discussions and planning sessions. 6 months into his transformation, Marcus received an unexpected opportunity. His company was considering expanding into a new region, and they needed someone to help establish operations. His combination of operational knowledge, systems thinking, and proven initiative made him the ideal candidate for a newly created regional manager position with a 40% salary increase. But Marcus faced a crucial decision: accept the promotion and stay in his comfort zone, or use his new millionaire mindset to think bigger. The old Marcus would have immediately accepted the security of a steady paycheck increase. The new Marcus saw this as validation of his growing value and began considering how he might eventually create his own logistics consulting firm. The foundation of his millionaire mindset was solid. Now it was time to build something extraordinary upon it. Marcus accepted the regional manager position, but with a strategic twist that demonstrated his evolving millionaire mindset. Instead of viewing it as his destination, he approached it as his graduate-level education in business operations. He negotiated for additional responsibilities in vendor relations and process optimization, essentially creating his own MBA program within his role. The new position required Marcus to travel frequently, setting up operations in 3 different cities. Where others might have seen this as a burden, Marcus recognized it as an invaluable opportunity to study different markets, build a vast network of industry contacts, and understand the scalable systems that made businesses successful across multiple locations. During his travels, Marcus maintained his rigorous self-development routine. Airport lounges became his mobile classrooms, where he studied market trends, consumer behavior, and emerging technologies in logistics. He began documenting his observations in what he called his $1,000,000 Insights Journal, capturing ideas about inefficiencies he observed across different markets and potential solutions that could serve multiple clients. The breakthrough came during a particularly challenging project in Phoenix. Marcus was tasked with resolving a supply chain crisis that was costing the company thousands of dollars daily. Multiple vendors were failing to deliver on time. Customer complaints were mounting, and local management was overwhelmed. Where others saw chaos, Marcus's trained millionaire mindset saw patterns and opportunities. Instead of applying quick fixes, Marcus spent 3 days conducting deep analysis. He mapped out the entire supply chain, identified bottlenecks, and discovered that the root problem wasn't vendor reliability. It was poor communication systems and lack of real-time visibility. The solution wasn't to find new vendors, but to create better coordination systems. Marcus developed a digital dashboard that gave all stakeholders real-time visibility into shipments, inventory levels, and delivery schedules. He implemented weekly coordination calls and created accountability systems that transformed vendor relationships from adversarial to collaborative. Within 2 weeks, on-time deliveries improved by 300%, customer complaints dropped to nearly zero, and the company was saving $50,000 monthly. But Marcus's millionaire mindset pushed him to think beyond just solving his company's problem. He realized that this same issue plagued hundreds of companies across various industries. The solution he had created wasn't just valuable to his employer, it was potentially valuable to an entire market of businesses struggling with similar coordination challenges. That evening in his Phoenix hotel room, Marcus made a decision that would accelerate his transformation exponentially. He began developing his solution into a scalable consulting methodology. He researched the market size, identified potential competitors, and started refining his approach into a replicable system that could be applied across different industries and company sizes. Marcus's mentor, David, helped him understand a crucial millionaire principle. Don't just solve problems, build systems that solve problems repeatedly. This insight shifted Marcus's focus from being a skilled employee to becoming a value creator who could generate income independent of traditional employment. Working evenings and weekends, Marcus began building what he called Supply Chain Command Central, a consulting framework that combined technology solutions with process optimization methodologies. He beta-tested his approach with 2 small local businesses, refining his systems and documenting case studies that proved measurable results. The results were remarkable. Both businesses saw 40 to 60% improvements in operational efficiency within 30 days. More importantly for Marcus, he had created his first independent income streams, earning $5,000 in consulting fees while maintaining his full-time position. His company's success with the Phoenix Project earned Marcus recognition at the corporate level. He was invited to present his methodology to senior executives and was asked to roll out similar improvements across all regional operations. However, Marcus now viewed this recognition differently. Rather than seeing it as career advancement within someone else's company, he saw it as validation of his marketable expertise and proof that his systems created significant value. The Millionaire mindset had taught Marcus to think in terms of scalable systems, multiple income streams, and value creation rather than just job security. He was no longer building someone else's dream. He was constructing the foundation of his own business empire. The transformation was accelerating, and Marcus could feel the momentum building towards something much bigger than he had originally imagined. Marcus stood at a crossroads that would define his financial future. His consulting success had generated $15,000 in additional income over 3 months while working his full-time job. More importantly, he had proven to himself that his value extended far beyond being an employee. The millionaire mindset had shifted his identity from someone who earned money to someone who created value in the marketplace. The pivotal moment came when Marcus received 2 simultaneous opportunities that would test his newfound confidence. His company offered him a promotion to vice president of operations with a 6-figure salary, the kind of position he would have considered impossible just 18 months earlier. Simultaneously, a mid-sized manufacturing company approached him to implement his supply chain optimization system company-wide, offering a $75,000 consulting contract. The old Marcus would have immediately accepted the VP position, viewing it as the pinnacle of success. But his millionaire mindset recognized something more profound. He was being offered the choice between security and scalability. The VP position would provide a comfortable lifestyle, but would cap his earning potential and tie his income to someone else's business. The consulting contract represented the beginning of unlimited possibilities. After deep reflection and discussions with his mentor David, Marcus made a decision that surprised everyone who knew him. He declined the VP position and negotiated a transition to part-time status with his current company, maintaining enough income to cover his basic expenses while freeing up time to build his consulting business. This decision required Marcus to confront his deepest fears about money and security. His family thought he was making a terrible mistake, giving up a sure thing for an uncertain venture. Former colleagues questioned his sanity, but Marcus's millionaire mindset had taught him that the biggest risk wasn't failure. It was playing small and never discovering his full potential. The manufacturing consulting project became Marcus's business school intensive. He spent 6 months completely immersing himself in their operations, working directly with executives, department heads, and frontline employees. He learned about corporate decision-making, change management, and the complexities of implementing systems across large organizations. The results exceeded everyone's expectations. Marcus's optimization system reduced operational costs by $200,000 annually, improved delivery times by 45%, and increased customer satisfaction scores to all-time highs. But more valuable than the financial results was the comprehensive case study Marcus developed, which became the foundation for scaling his methodology to other industries. Word of Marcus's success spread through business networks, and referrals began flowing in. He realized he had reached a critical inflection point. Demand for his services was exceeding his capacity to deliver them personally. The millionaire mindset prompted him to think about leverage and scalability rather than just working harder. Marcus began developing training programs that would allow other consultants to implement his methodologies. He created detailed process, documentation, video training modules, and certification programs. Instead of being limited by his personal time, he was building a system that could serve multiple clients simultaneously while generating passive income through licensing and training fees. The financial transformation was remarkable. Within 8 months of leaving traditional employment, Marcus was earning more in quarterly consulting fees than his former annual salary. But the psychological transformation was even more significant. He had developed unshakable confidence in his ability to create value and generate income regardless of economic conditions or job market fluctuations. Marcus invested heavily in expanding his knowledge and capabilities. He studied advanced business strategy, learned digital marketing to reach larger audiences, and began speaking at industry conferences. Each investment in himself multiplied his earning potential and market credibility. His supply chain command central methodology was now being implemented by companies across 12 states. Marcus had built a team of 5 certified consultants, developed strategic partnerships with technology vendors, and created multiple revenue streams including consulting fees, training programs, software licensing, and speaking engagements. The millionaire mindset had taught Marcus that wealth wasn't about earning a high salary. It was about building systems that generated value repeatedly and creating assets that produced income with or without his direct involvement. He was no longer trading time for money. He was building a business that could scale infinitely. The momentum was undeniable, and Marcus could see that he was approaching true financial freedom. 2 years after declining the VP position that once seemed like the ultimate achievement, Marcus Thompson had built something far more valuable than a prestigious job title. He had created a scalable business empire that generated multiple income streams and served hundreds of companies across various industries. His supply chain command central methodology had evolved into a comprehensive business optimization system that addressed not just logistics, but also operational efficiency, cost reduction, and performance enhancement across entire organizations. Marcus had discovered that the principles he learned in warehouse operations applied universally to business systems, regardless of industry or company size. The numbers told an incredible story of transformation. Marcus's business was generating over $2 million in annual revenue through consulting contracts, training programs, software licensing, and franchise operations. He had expanded his team to 23 professionals, including specialized consultants, software developers, and business development specialists. But the financial success was just the visible manifestation of a much deeper transformation. Marcus had mastered what he called millionaire systems thinking, the ability to see patterns, create scalable solutions, and build assets that generated value continuously. Every challenge he encountered became an opportunity to develop new methodologies that could be systematized and replicated. His business wasn't dependent on his personal involvement in every project. It was powered by proven systems that others could implement effectively. The mastery revealed itself in how Marcus approached new opportunities. When approached by a struggling retail chain facing inventory management challenges, Marcus didn't just see a consulting project. He saw an opportunity to develop retail-specific optimization tools that could serve thousands of similar businesses. The solution he created for that one client became a $500,000 licensing opportunity with a major retail technology company. Marcus's millionaire mindset had taught him to think in terms of multiplication rather than addition. Instead of merely solving individual problems, he focused on creating solutions that could solve similar problems for numerous clients. This approach had generated patent applications for 3 proprietary systems and positioning Marcus as a recognized thought leader in business optimization. The psychological transformation was perhaps more remarkable than the financial success. Marcus had developed what he called abundance confidence, an unshakable belief in his ability to create value and generate income under any circumstances. Market downturns, economic uncertainty, and industry changes no longer triggered fear. They presented opportunities for innovation and growth. This confidence attracted bigger opportunities. Fortune 500 companies began engaging Marcus for enterprise-wide optimization projects worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. He was invited to speak at major industry conferences, appeared on business podcasts, and was featured in trade publications as an expert in operational excellence. Marcus had also mastered the Millionaire principle of strategic partnerships and leverage. Instead of trying to do everything himself, he had built relationships with complementary service providers, technology vendors, and industry experts. These partnerships allowed him to offer comprehensive solutions while focusing on his core expertise, creating win-win relationships that amplified everyone's success. Investment opportunities began flowing toward Marcus as his reputation and network expanded. He had learned that successful people attract capital and opportunities because they have proven their ability to generate returns. Marcus began angel investing in startups that could benefit from his operational expertise, creating additional income streams while helping other entrepreneurs succeed. The education and self-development that started his transformation had evolved into a lifestyle of continuous learning and growth. Marcus maintained relationships with multiple mentors, belonged to exclusive mastermind groups, and regularly attended advanced business programs. He understood that maintaining his competitive advantage required staying ahead of industry trends and continuously expanding his capabilities. His personal financial position reflected his business success. Marcus had built substantial savings, diversified investment portfolios, and multiple properties. But more importantly, he had created a lifestyle of choice rather than obligation. He could work from anywhere, had complete control over his time, and had the resources to pursue any opportunity that excited him. The warehouse supervisor who once feared eviction notices had become a millionaire entrepreneur who helped other businesses achieve operational excellence. Marcus had mastered not just business systems, but the mindset that made sustained success inevitable. He was ready to share his transformation with others and scale his impact even further. Marcus Thompson stood before an audience of 2,000 entrepreneurs at the National Business Excellence Summit, but his mind briefly traveled back to that desperate Tuesday morning in his cluttered apartment when he first discovered the power of mindset transformation. The contrast was profound. From a man drowning in debt and limited thinking to someone who had created a business empire and was now inspiring others to break through their own limitations. His keynote speech, From Scarcity to Systems Building. Scalable Wealth Through Mindset Mastery had become one of the most requested presentations in the business development circuit. But Marcus's greatest satisfaction came not from the speaking fees or recognition. It came from the hundreds of success stories from people who had applied his transformation principles to create their own breakthroughs. The legacy Marcus was building extended far beyond his personal financial success. He had established the Millionaire Mindset Institute, a comprehensive program that combined mindset development with practical business system training. The institute served entrepreneurs at every level, from corporate employees seeking to build side businesses to established business owners looking to scale their operations exponentially. The Institute's flagship program, the Complete Transformation System, took participants through the same journey Marcus had traveled, from identifying and eliminating limiting beliefs to building scalable business systems that generated multiple income streams. The program had graduated over 10,000 participants, with documented success stories including business launches, career transformations, and financial breakthroughs that totaled over $500 million in combined additional income for graduates. Marcus had discovered that his greatest gift wasn't just creating business systems, but helping others recognize their own potential for transformation. He had developed what he called the 4 pillars of millionaire mindset. First, abundance, architecture, rewiring fundamental beliefs about money, opportunity, and personal capability. Second, value creation mastery, developing the ability to identify problems and create scalable solutions. Third, systems multiplication, building processes and frameworks that generated results without constant personal involvement. Fourth, legacy leadership, using success to elevate others and create positive impact beyond personal gain. These pillars had become the foundation for Marcus's expanding business empire, which now included the consulting firm, the Educational Institute, a business incubator for promising startups, and a real estate investment fund focused on developing affordable housing for entrepreneurs. The real measure of Marcus's transformation showed in how he handled new challenges and opportunities. When global supply chain disruptions threatened to impact his consulting clients, Marcus didn't see a crisis. He saw an opportunity to develop resilience-focused optimization systems that helped businesses thrive during uncertainty. This innovation generated over $3 million in additional revenue while helping hundreds of companies navigate challenging economic conditions. Marcus had also mastered the Millionaire principle of giving back strategically. He had established scholarship programs for underprivileged students studying business and logistics, created mentorship programs for aspiring entrepreneurs, and partnered with community organizations to bring business education to underserved populations. His giving wasn't just charitable, it was investment in developing the next generation of value creators and problem solvers. The personal transformation was complete, but ongoing. Marcus had learned that building a millionaire mindset wasn't a destination, but a continuous evolution of thinking, learning, and growing. He maintained his daily habits of learning, his commitment to adding value in every interaction, and his focus on building systems rather than just achieving goals. His financial position had reached levels he once thought impossible: multiple, 8-figure net worth, complete time freedom, and the resources to pursue any opportunity or cause that aligned with his values. But the numbers were just scorekeeping for a much deeper transformation. Marcus had become someone who created value, solved problems, and helped others achieve their potential. As Marcus concluded his keynote that evening, he shared the message that had become central to his mission. The millionaire mindset isn't about the money. It's about the person you become in the process of creating value for others. When you transform your thinking from scarcity to abundance, from consumption to creation, from limitation to possibility, wealth becomes the natural byproduct of who you are. The warehouse supervisor who once stared at eviction notices had become a catalyst for transformation in thousands of lives. Marcus Thompson had built not just wealth, but a legacy of empowerment that would continue multiplying long after his speaking days were over. The transformation was complete. The legacy was just beginning.